Hey, what's up guys? Dan here again, and in today's video, I'm going to open up your mind to what's really possible with online business in 2019. I will be teaching you how to start a $1 million brand in e-commerce, and we're talking about Amazon FBA or Shopify dropshipping. Now you might think, Dan, that sounds absolutely crazy. $1 million brand, like I can't even fathom that number, in my head. And let me tell you that every single $1 million brand that's out there today, they've all started from exactly where you're at right now. They probably were watching videos such as this one when they first started, and probably videos like this one didn't exist. And although they might have never known that they would have hit $1 million when they first started, they probably just wanted to start an online business just like you, and they probably were seeking freedom in their life. They wanted to take a leap of faith. They wanted to start a business, and they probably couldn't even think that they would eventually hit $1 million. They were able to think big. And that's why they were able to create that $1 million brand. So let me give you guys some examples of $1 million brands and multi-million dollar brands. Just from the top of my head, we got Gymshark, we've got Movement Watches, and that story is very inspiring. Movement Watches is literally just a Shopify dropshipping store. At least that's how it started, and it was by a guy named Jake Kassan. Incredibly inspiring story. I don't know exactly, but he started the store with Shopify dropshipping, and he literally started with a laptop and a dream. And so he recently sold his company for about $200 million to Movado Watches, which is absolutely amazing. And he started with Shopify dropshipping. And he probably just had a dream, just like you and just like I did when I was first starting in e-commerce. And he wanted to free himself. He wanted to really live the life of his dreams. He wanted to be able to travel the world, and he wanted to achieve personal and financial freedom. And so it's absolutely crazy to see that in only a couple of years, he sold his Shopify store, pretty much. It's what it is, it's Shopify store. Most stores that you see online are Shopify. And he sold it for $200 million. So it's incredibly inspiring. We also got Spigen, which is a huge private labeler of phone cases and things like that. Actually, I think this one is from Spigen, and I don't know how to pronounce it, but they started just private labeling phone cases on Amazon. And so obviously at the time, phone cases were an incredibly open and uncompetitive niche. But even now, there's a ton. There's actually even more opportunity now because there's just more products out there that people are ready to buy online than back then, 5 years ago, 6 years ago. The number one Shopify store, also Fashion Nova. How do you think they started, right? So all of these stores, they don't have any physical presence. They don't have any physical stores, and they're all either Amazon FBA, selling on Amazon FBA, or dropshipping on Shopify. And of course, once you hit that $1 million brand, you're not dropshipping anymore. Then obviously you are having inventory and you have bulk orders and things like that. But the point is that they all started with these two simple concepts: Shopify dropshipping, Amazon FBA. And for all these brands, their story is very similar. They all started with a dream, and they all started with the product, right? So they were probably doing market research. They were probably wondering, what product can I sell that is really going to be profitable and that people would actually want to buy online? And so that's how they started. And then after that, they found a supplier in China, because that's where most suppliers are. And you can find really good quality products there for cheap. And so they found a supplier in China, and then they created the brand, they created the logo, they created the packaging and all those kinds of things. And then they created the website, or they created a listing on Amazon, for example. So they either created the website and installed Shopify on it, made the store look super nice, or they created a beautiful listing on Amazon, and then they marketed the product, right? Because if you just throw up a product either on a Shopify store or on an Amazon FBA listing, well, there's nobody seeing it. There are no eyes that are going to your listing. So you actually have to go and market your listing. So what they've done then was something like Facebook ads, or just trying to rank it on the Amazon algorithm on Amazon.com. And you guys, all of them started from zero. Here's one of my favorite quotes of all time. It's from one of my favorite books of all time, from The Magic of Thinking Big by David Schwartz. When you believe, your mind will always find ways to do. When you believe, your mind will always find ways to do. So if that's your dream, if you want to build $1 million e-commerce empire, then right now is the best time to start. And how do you think you start? You start with simply either learning Shopify dropshipping or Amazon FBA, because those are the two best ways to start e-commerce right now, today in 2019. I would say, for anybody looking out there to start making passive income, there are some of the best opportunities that are available today that anybody can start, and you don't have to go out there and sell to people, physically. You can literally do all of this from your computer, and that's the beauty of it. That's why I was so mind blown when I was starting, because at the time I was cleaning windows, right? And so I quit my bank job. I started cleaning windows to make some money for my inventory for my first Amazon product. And so for myself, I got used to having to sell my window cleaning services door to door. And obviously 90% of them was a rejection. But it was amazing training for life. But at the same time, when I found out about Amazon FBA, I realized I don't have to even sell to anybody. I can just learn Amazon FBA, learn the formula, figure out how to rank the product, find the best product to sell, market it, create the brand, and boom. So now that you see how accessible it is to anybody who is willing to become successful with e-commerce, to start a future $1 million e-commerce empire and brand, I'm gonna break down to you the steps that it would take to logically start an e-commerce store that will grow to $1 million. So the first step is you need a product. And the way that you find the product, there's actually a couple different ways. So you have to figure it out, okay, am I going to do this on Shopify dropshipping, or am I going to do the Amazon FBA model, right? So it really is different based on what you choose. If you want to find a product on Amazon, there are tools to do that, like Jungle Scout. Jungle Scout is an amazing tool. It's what I've been using ever since I started my Amazon FBA business. And let me tell you that back in the day when people were selling on Amazon, there was no such thing as Jungle Scout. And I don't even know how they found products, because what they had to do was they had to look based on the rank, and pretty much it was just like a shot in the dark. It was just a wild guess, and they were just throwing money at the wall, and they were trying to see if it stuck. Like, they were trying to see if it was going to work. And so with Amazon FBA, there's Jungle Scout, there's certain filters you have to search for, and pretty much it's based on reviews and things like that. You can see, okay, low reviews, high revenue. There's an opportunity for me to come in here, improve the product, and really provide value to the target market. Well, then obviously it's a great product, right? And I've got a lot of Amazon FBA videos, especially product research, so you guys can go and check those videos out. And so yeah, those are really good resources for that. And on Shopify dropshipping, the best way to find products on Shopify, from my own personal experience building Shopify stores, and right now I've got a Shopify store in the multiple six figures range per year in profit. The best way to do that, from what I found, is to see what's working, really opening your eyes on social media. Most of the stores, most of the ads that we're seeing right now, they're from, if it's from an e-commerce store, it's Shopify. And so what I did was I was just on the lookout for an idea for a niche, for a product that I could emulate and kind of like see that, okay, it's already becoming successful for someone, and I can go and do this myself and then really improve on it. And that's what I've done with Shopify. And in my opinion, it's been the best way to find an idea, right? With Shopify, I've discovered that yes, you can use tools and things like that, but it's always going to be best if you find evidence of something that's already working to make money for somebody else, which means that there are already people that are wanting to buy the product. There's already money to be made in the market, and all you have to do is figure out, okay, how do I make my website look nice? How do I find the suppliers for these products? And how do I actually make the product better or good, right? And that's all it is with Shopify. So you need to find a product. And one more note on Shopify, very important, do not start a store that does a bunch of different niches. You want to make sure that you niche down, and you want to make sure that your store serves a specific target market. So for example, it can be fishing, it can be barbecuing, it can be the outdoors, something like that. It has to be very specific. And like I said, there has to be money in the market. Never reinvent the wheel. That's what a lot of beginner entrepreneurs try to do. They think that to make a lot of money, they need to reinvent the wheel and they need to start something new. And it's completely wrong. It's what colleges and universities teach around the world, that, hey, if you want to become an entrepreneur, you have to start the next Uber, you have to start the next Airbnb. It's simply not true. 90% of success, like I read this in a book, but if you are able to just learn how to emulate winning strategies and how to really look at someone who's successful and try to do that yourself and do it successfully, that's like 90% of success right there. You can make 6 figures, 7 figures, even 8 figures easily doing that. Now, the next part is there obviously should be a supplier. And the two best supplier websites are Alibaba.com. That's more for bulk orders, for orders, let's say you're ordering 500 units, 1,000 units of a product, 2,000 units of a product. And then we have AliExpress.com. AliExpress.com is where you can order products that you can also order on Alibaba. However, on AliExpress, you can order them in singles, so single units and things like that. And also, you can then find suppliers to dropship. Here's a secret. I actually found out that on Alibaba.com, you can also find suppliers that are willing to dropship for you. And a lot of the times, their prices are a lot cheaper just because they don't have a lot of interest. They don't have a lot of people trying to do dropshipping with them on Alibaba, because mostly everybody thinks that AliExpress.com is the only place to dropship. All you have to do is send them a message on Alibaba and ask them if they dropship. I've got a dropshipping email template in one of my other dropshipping videos. You can go and find that out there. Now, obviously, you have to be able to dropship the product or buy in bulk. So you're going to be dropshipping for Shopify, which means that your supplier is going to be sending the product per unit directly to your customer. an individual mail, right? So pretty much individual packages to each customer to their respective addresses, and you're going to pay your supplier right after your customer pays you, and that's on Shopify. And on Amazon, you want to buy in bulk because you're going to hold that inventory in the Amazon warehouse. It doesn't have to be a lot. It can be 250 units, a test order, 500 units. And very important, it has to be cheap enough that the startup costs won't go over about, it can be between $1,000 to $2,500. If you're really like investing over $5,000, that's completely like, you don't need to do that. I see a lot of people investing a lot of money, and trust me guys, with Amazon, you can get started for as little as $1,000. If you find a cheap enough product, there's a ton of products out there. You just have to keep looking. You just have to open your eyes. And also with Shopify, you can start with as little as $500 to $600, and that's just money to play around with for Facebook ads and things like that, and to make your website look nice. So you don't have to spend $5,000 to $10,000, and that's the beauty of online business. It's not like a university degree where you have to spend $100,000 and then you go into debt and then you lose that money and you don't even get a guaranteed job, and even if you do get a job, you get to sell your time for money. So you pretty much just become a slave. Now the next step is to promote the product, of course, and so you're going to do that either with Amazon PPC if you're selling on Amazon, or with Shopify you're going to run Facebook ads and social media influencers. Huge. Like that's one of my superpowers on Shopify. I've been using social media influencers to have them post on their pages, and also to record Instagram story ads and things like that, and Facebook video ads, and it's been insane. It's been huge. And so you want to promote your product. Like I said, if there's not enough eyes going in your product, no one's gonna buy it. And so once you got all that done, now you want to build social proof, reviews, and things like that. You want to have testimonials. If it's a Shopify store, you can kind of give people like a coupon in exchange for a video review on YouTube, for example, for your brand. That's how you really scale your brand and build it. And I'm sure that's what these companies like Gymshark and Movement have been doing in the past to really get their social proof going. No one wants to be the first to actually try out a product, so that's why it's very important to incentivize your customers to actually leave social proof, create video reviews and things like that. And now at this point, we're at 6 figures easily, 6 figures a year, and that's between $8,000 and $9,000 a month. And so to get to 7 figures, you have to expand linearly, and you have to do market research. You have to look at what your competitors are doing. You have to look at what products your customers are wanting that are like these products that you can find on Alibaba or AliExpress that you can also dropship or invest for bulk inventory and things like that for Amazon. And if we break it down, and this might sound like a lot, $1 million a year is 50 units a day of a $50 product. That's $1 million a year. And so that can, it doesn't have to be one $50 product selling 50 units a day. It can also be 10 units a day of $5, $10 products, right? So it doesn't have to be one product for selling for $50. So obviously if you are building a brand, you're gonna have much more than one product. So it gets much easier to go from 6 figures to 7 figures than it is to go from 0 to 6 figures. Now guys, the hardest part with e-commerce or with any online business is just starting, and just getting to that $5,000 to $10,000 a month, because most people give up before they even get to that $5,000 to $10,000 a month mark, and that's enough money where the positive feedback loop kicks in, and you really start to feel like, hey, I'm seeing the rewards from all my work. I'm seeing the rewards for my willpower, for my dedication, and success builds on success. Once you hit that 5K a month, initial 10K a month, it's just as easy and actually easier to hit 20K a month, 30K a month, and then up to 50K a month and 100K a month. And that's when you get from 6 figures to 7 figures a year. Because going from 0 to 6 figures a year, that is so much harder because you're just getting started, and the biggest obstacle is your mind, the mindset. Like you're still getting into that entrepreneurial mindset. So once you're already in that, then it's easy to hit any number that you set for yourself, any goal that you set for yourself. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video, and I hope you see just how realistic it is to build $1 million brand, within the next 1 year, 2 years, 4 years, 5 years, definitely 5 years, as long as you just persist. Right? $1 million nowadays, it's not a lot of money, but it's definitely a worthy accomplishment. And I would say it's a worthy goal to have. So hope you guys enjoyed. And if you guys are interested in starting your own e-commerce brand, then I highly recommend you guys go and check out my Shopify dropshipping videos, as well as my Amazon FBA videos. And I've also, of course, got the Ecom Freedom X course, which ever since I started, I've got so many successful students who got their Amazon FBA business up and running. So that's for Amazon FBA. That's everything that I've ever learned from Amazon FBA and all the mistakes that I've made, all my experience, all the obstacles that I faced, and I put that in just so people don't make the same mistakes and they know exactly what they need to do to build a successful Amazon FBA business. So the link for that is down below, and for Shopify, there's probably a link down below as well, so you guys can check that out. There's a couple useful links there. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and I'm also doing an epic MacBook giveaway. So I know that so many people out there, they don't even have a MacBook, they don't have like an actual laptop to start an online business, and so that's why I want to give back, and I want to give back with a MacBook Pro, which is the machine that I use. And so all you have to do, go down below, there's a link link for the MacBook giveaway, and you guys can go and check it out. It'll take like 5 seconds of your time. So I hope you enjoyed once again. Subscribe, follow me on social media. I'll see you guys soon.